and welcome to NIPS Policy TV. I am Lydia Odije Ochi. This is our very first broadcast. Thank you for joining us today. Happy Independence Day to all Nigerians. What a way to start. Let's talk about policies. And that's the reason why we're here in the first place. Thank you for joining us. Policy TV. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I know your busy schedule did not allow us have the interview live here, but thank God for technology. We can talk to you from any part of the world. Now, Prof, let me first of all wish you a happy Independence Day.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now, NIPS Policy TV has become a reality. Could you walk us through the journey to where we are today?
Well, thank you very much for that question. The purpose of NIPS TV is very clear. It came from one of the mandates that the immediate past president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, gave us as an institute. He was worried that for all of the hard work we have put into NIPS, for all of the policy briefs we have written, for all of our pally reports and all of the strategy sessions, that a whole lot of what we have done are not out in the public space. So it challenged us that we should do all we can do to ensure that the majority of Nigerian public officials needing to use the outcome of a lot of our researches get to know what we have in our repertoire of knowledge in the institute. And we looked at it, we looked at several ways by which we can do it, and then we found that there will be a need for a television station that will be dedicated to discussing policy all day. Nigeria is challenged by so many problems, and of course, government has been making a lot of efforts to ensure that they solve these problems. And we are aware that a lot of the good things that government has been doing is not even known to the generality of the public. And of course, policy issues will always be there for us to dissect, to discuss, or rediscuss, to research upon, and the rest of it. So we felt that a session that is dedicated to full policy discussion is actually needed. And if anybody is going to do it, it has to be NIPS, which of course is Nigeria's highest think tank. And of course, I think we are the only think tank that we have in Africa. So we decided that NIPS TV will be a way by which we can start to push all of our strategies, all of the briefs out into the public space.
Now, we would like you to tell your viewers what to expect in the area of content.
Well, certainly we want to assure the public that NIPS TV is going to ensure that everything that has to do with all facets, all sectors of the economy, of our livelihood in Nigeria, that requires that policies be made, that requires that strategies be formulated, that requires that we engage the critical stakeholders will be on the television for everyone to be able to contribute, listen to what Nigeria government has, bring in experts to discuss policy matters, bring in critical stakeholders to engage with the public on different areas that impede growth and development in the country. Enable Nigerians to contribute to how well things can be done. You see, we have found that too many times Nigerians MDAs work in silos, and we are trying to use the NIPS television to ensure that we bring down this silo mentality. We want all of the MDAs to work together to understand the perspectives of other MDAs in order for us to find solutions to our problems. We believe that finding solutions to our problems cannot be done when MDAs work in silos. We have to work together to create workable solutions to the challenges that we face as a nation. And of course, NIPS TV will be a place for ideas generation, a place for ideas discussion, and also a place for solutions to be made. And of course, we build consensus from there. And we will also open up the opportunities to critical stakeholders to come on television and have enough time to explain the policies they are enacting, to explain policy directions, and of course, to explain strategies that are geared towards solving Nigeria's problem. Too often than not, you discover that when you bring in personalities to talk on television on critical matters of national interest, rarely do these television stations give them enough room to discuss all they have to say. It is always a matter of, oh, our time is gone, we have to go, we have to go. And then we said that with NIPS policy television, every critical stakeholder that has something to say, every MDA that has anything to explain to the Nigerian public will have the opportunity to do so through the NIPS policy TV.
Okay, now, DG sir, television is serious business. If you were to give advice to anyone who might want to toe this path, what would you say?
Certainly, if there is a will, there is always a way. If any MDA finds it necessary that it needs to be on TV to explain itself 24 hours every day, then they should go ahead to do so. But I must say that it requires a whole lot of plan. You need to bring in experts, those who have been in the television industry for a considerable period of time, for advice, for guidance. And of course, you need to be sure that the target audience is well selected, and that you project whatever you want to say at the time when they'll be able to listen to what you have for them.
Okay, now, how influential or important is the Institute in respect to or generating ideas or policies for government to act on?
Certainly, the reason why government established NIPS in 1979 was because it felt the need to have a dedicated agency that will be in the office of the president, that will be at the beck and call of the presidency to look into matters of national importance, matters that require urgent attention of government. And it's decided to to establish the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies as Nigeria's highest think tank. I always want universities to know that NIPS is not a university, and we are not at the level of a university because we bring in participants. We do not even call them students, we call them participants, partakers in the development of solutions to Nigeria's problem through critical thinking and through critical engagements and through critical research. That is why the senior executive course participants are sequestered in Kuru for 10 months to research into a major theme for the year as may have been directed by the presidency. As you probably know, this year we are looking at industrialization, energy security, and climate change, options, challenges, and opportunities. The presidency decided on that thing because it felt that we needed to look more into why Nigeria is not industrializing. And of course, we want to also look into the energy security issues. And upon all of this, we know we are also challenged by climate change. So the three variables were what the federal government bothered about and wanted SEC 45 participants to look through. So it is very important that we need to come up with solutions come up with strategies through which Nigeria can actually industrialize, solve energy security matters, and of course, also do something about climate change while looking for industries to grow and looking for energy to generate. We believe that the outcome of what we are doing this year will be used by the new administration. We were with the Vice President, who is our supervisor, yesterday, and he assured us that the National Institute will be accorded its right of place, and that policies, advisories, strategies, and briefs that will be coming out from the Institute will be used by the government and will also be promoted by the government to all other organs of the federal institution.
DG sir, over the years, in what ways has NIPS contributed to national development?
Oh, of course. Number one, in terms of capacity building, NIPS has been doing a lot. We engage our SEC participants. We run seminars that will look at issues. We run workshops, and of course, we have added brainstorm sessions now to engage with all faces of Nigerian leaders over different sectors. And some of the outputs of our researches have been used by the government. You may wish to know that the Federal Road Safety Commission was first discussed at NIPS, and today we have a full-blown commission that is being well used. You also may want to recall that the National Health Insurance that we currently have in the country came about as a result of one of the researches that our SEC participants carried out a few years ago. And we believe that there have also been aspects of our reports over the years that government has implemented. So we have been contributing in terms of giving policy advice to government. We have been giving strategies to government, and of course, government is well briefed on all matters that we have had opportunity to research upon. Well, I like that very much because in a few days' time, Nigeria will be turning 63. 63 years just gone like that. 63 years in the history of a nation, it's not something we can take for granted. I believe Nigeria is not where it should be, but we believe that we have what it takes to be better than we are. As we approach our 63rd independence, I want to employ Nigerians to please be patient with this new government. Government has just been in place for less than 4 months, and of course, it started out with a lot of challenges. We know that times are hard, things are hard, but we are in a situation where for things to be good, it probably has to get worse a little bit, but then we are going to get there. I mentioned to some people yesterday that a new seed is being planted. There is a paradigm shift in the way we run our economy. And with this paradigm shift, we will all have to adjust our belts. I call on the Nigerian masses to be patient with the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu so that we can be able to get to where we need to get to. I wish us well as we turn 60, as Nigeria turns 63, and I believe that better times are ahead for Nigerians. Please let us give this government the opportunity to work out things. We all have a role to play. It's not only government that we do it. We need a whole lot of change in the attitude of Nigerians. Nigerians need to readdress and look at ourselves and say, how can I as individuals contribute to the development of Nigeria? It is not going to be enough to blame government. It will be necessary for all hands to be on deck and let everybody be ready to play its part. I wish Nigeria the best. I wish all Nigerians the best, both here and in diaspora, as we turn 63.
Thank you, DG sir. Before we let you go, what do you see in the future for NIPS Policy TV?
NIPS Policy TV is an idea that we are going to launch on the 1st of October. First, I want to commend all the staff members that have been working hard in the past 2 months to see that it becomes a reality. I want to assure you that you will get all the support you need to succeed. I am very enthusiastic about the prospects of NIPS TV. We know we do not have a whole lot of resources, but with the willpower, with the necessary sacrifice, and the dedication of all the staff members that we have at this time, all of you have been very fantastic. And I know that if you do not take your hands off the deck, we will be able to overcome all the teething challenges that we currently do have. There is no beginning that is very smooth. I know it is rough at this time. All of you are making sacrifices to see NIPS TV become a reality. And I believe that God in His infinite mercy will take us to where we need to be.
Okay, sir, one final question before we let you go. Any message for staff and future participants at NIPS?
I want to use this opportunity to appreciate all staff members of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies for the support they have given the Office of the Director General since he resumed office. I am aware that a few things are required to be put in place. We are working hard on ensuring that the conditions of service are improved upon. We have also taken upon ourselves in this short while that we have been there to bring some modifications to the act that established NIPS in 1979. We know that staff welfare is very, very important to management. We know that our welfare is not where it should be. The DG and the management is doing all it can to ensure that we improve on the welfare of our staff. I thank all staff members for all the support they have given. I thank everyone for believing in the changes that that management has brought in place since I arrived 18 months ago. And I can only assure us that going forward, NIPS at Kuru is going to be a better place for everybody to work in. And I also want to assure those of us who carry the yellow badge of MNI that the management is doing everything to ensure that the quality of our output is always top-notch. We greet all participants of SEC 45 who are still with us, but who will be going through the defense of the individual research reports. We also greet the team that is working on the Pali report, and I want to assure them that everything they require to be able to succeed in all of these activities, management is willing to provide. As Nigeria reaches 63rd birthday on the 1st of October 2023, I want to wish Nigeria well. I wish all of us at NIPS well. And of course, I wish all of our alumni the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And from all of us here in the studio, we say Happy Independence, DG, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for staying with us. When it comes to NIPS Policy TV, we have someone who is always on the ground, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. He makes sure everything needed is in place so that things work. I am talking about the indefatigable, hardworking, no-nonsense Head of Public Affairs Department, NIPS, Professor Shola Adeyonju. Thank you for being with us, sir. And happy Independence.
Thank you very much for having me. Happy Independence Day to all Nigerians.
Now, tell us your own story. How has the experience been like making NIPS Policy TV see the light of day?
Well, let me start by thanking the Director General of the National Institute, Professor Ayo Omotayo, for believing in us that when you don't think big, you don't achieve big. When this NIPS policy television issue was conceived, it was like a dream that may never come to pass. And I must say that despite all the paperwork at the beginning, some people still doubted whether we have the capacity, whether we have the wherewithal, whether we have the will to be able to bring this to fruition. But with the determination and the support, the level of support from the Director General, we are arriving there gradually. I must say that the road has been very rough. It's not meant to be smooth, but we are determined because we feel that this is an idea that its time has come. So, so far, so good. We have been able to put some necessary things in place. And I think that is why we are making history. History in the sense that we are starting the takeoff for Independence Day. That to me is like saying we are going to be independent of lack of continuity in policy. We are going to be independent of inconsistency, and we are going to be independent of not having a platform where people can discuss policy and strategy issues. So it's a good thing for us, and I'm happy Nigeria is celebrating the 63rd anniversary today.
Prof, tell us, what were the challenges encountered in this journey?
Well, for anybody who is conversant with broadcasting, it's capital intensive. It is one thing to have an idea. It's another thing for you to be able to put it into practice, into reality. And when we started, the Director General said, okay, give me a budget. And I told him it's not going to be easy, but luckily for us, we have a space that we can convert to a studio. We have some raw materials in terms of personnel. I call it raw material because I know they needed some brush up. And what we do not have was the equipment. And because of the level of passion of the Director General, and because I happen to be in advancement office, I said, okay, let me also launch out. Let's see if we can persuade one or two people to give us support, knowing that we don't have the budget. And the Director General gave me all the support. One day I just told him, we were in Abuja, I said, let's go and see somebody. And he said, okay, fine. Ordinarily, I was expecting him to say, no, I don't have that kind of time, you can go. But we went together. And the man looked at it, looked at our vision and said, well, I should be able to support and give us something in the neighborhood of about 15 million. So just go and start. But that was like scratching the surface. And because I must thank that our benefactor. I don't want to mention his name because he doesn't want his name to be mentioned. I must thank him that was our takeoff. And since then, it has been, will it be, will it not be? And, at the end of the day, each time the Director General will say, look, I want this thing to come into fruition. It has been my dream as well, but it seems our dreams are tallied. And because of that, we managed to say, okay, why don't we look around? We saw that the NTA Television College is there. Why don't we approach NTA? Let's collaborate. Let's work together. But we are both government agencies. We are working towards the same goal. And luckily for us, the Director General of the NTA is favorably disposed to this. Because the idea is, let us have a specialized television that will be basically for policy and strategy, where all stakeholders can be brought together. So I must also put it on record that we must thank the Director General of the NTA for the level of support and his management staff. I can't be mentioning all of them now, but I think the executive directors and the directors, they were all there to give us the level of support we need. And that is why we are here today.
Okay. Now, Prof, at the end of it all, are you happy?
Well, they say it is not over until it is over. I'm one person that I believe that if you must do it at all, you must do it well. We have started on a very good footing. I must say that it is one of my biggest happiness. The reason is when you have a dream that people doubt, and you are able to, come to terms with it and say, look, this thing is possible. And I think that is the level where we are, because at a point, some people were saying, well, we know this thing is not going to materialize, and you know how demoralizing that can be for somebody with ideas. So, but for us to sustain the ideas to this stage, and for the director general to give all it takes, I think that is where my happiness is. Whatever happens, we have made history, and history will vindicate us in the nearest future.
What would be your message to Nigerians and stakeholders on NIPS Policy TV?
Yeah, let me say this, that the National Institute, as an apex think tank of the country, has always believed that in the we can do it spirit of Nigerians. We believe that there is nothing that is happening around the world that we cannot achieve. It is this spirit that I want Nigerians to take on. I used to say this, that we should move away from the book of lamentation to the book of revelation, so that we'll stop lamenting and start acting. We should take responsibilities. We should do what is right when it comes to our own person, and in whatever way we are touching the system. Let's do the right thing. It is good for us to look back and say, how far have we gone as a nation, as a country, and to say, well, at 63, it is not the end of the world. We are not there. The potentials are there, very great potential. So we keep on searching for how we are going to harness those resources to make sure that we get to where we rightly belong, where we're supposed to be. And so, on the basis of this, I know we have youth board, and I want to say, let's rechannel the minds of our youth into positive things rather than negative. And that is why this policy television is important. But what we are going to be doing is to be analyzing, to be propounding, to be projecting, so that together with government, we can put the right type of policies in place and secure what we call a better society.
Is there any role for participants towards encouraging NIPS Policy TV?
Of course, we have stakeholders, many stakeholders, and one of the main stakeholders that we have is the participants. When I say the participants, I mean both those who are in the institute currently and those who have graduated, because we have the Alumni Association of the National Institute, which is going to play a very prominent role. You see, the motto of the National Institute, which is also the motto which Annie has been taking around, is towards a better society. And what that means is that all of us must contribute in our own little way. We will solicit for participation, for support in different ways from the alumni and even from the current participants. And I don't have any doubt that they will be willing to support us. Some of them have been supporting us, and I want to believe that that support will continue. We are going to move the country forward together towards a better society.
Now, what is your message to Nigerians as we celebrate Independence Day?
Well, I will say that independence is a good thing. Luckily, the government today is saying it will be low-key. And I guess the reason for that is for us to have a retrospect, search ourselves. I think we have reached a situation where we want to move the country forward. And I used to say that moving the country forward is not a one-man business. It's not only government business. Both government, public sector, private individuals, and everybody will have to come together to contribute their own quota. Because we don't have any other country than Nigeria. Those who are jackpying, in quotes, will know that at the end of the day, you still feel like going back home, because there's no place like home. So this is a country that belongs to all of us, and we should do everything to make sure that it functions very well. But let me say this, that I will not conclude without still talking about the Director General. His determination, his passion, his will, which were lacking in some other people, have been the major contributors to the movements that we have made. And I think wherever we go, when we tell them about the idea, everybody is buying into it. They are seeing it as something that should have happened since yesterday. But that it is happening today is by the grace of God and by the grace of the management that have put everything together. I know that many of the management teams have also supported us in their own ways, encouraging us along the line, and that is why we are here today. I think we are going to move Nigeria better. Thank you.
We want to congratulate you on the smooth takeoff of NIPS Policy TV. Congratulations and happy Independence Day, Prof.
Thank you very much. I will say, please always watch NIPS Policy Television for a better society.
Yeah, last year, the Alumni Association organized a conference on national unity. The country requires to be united. We need to come together and support the government, regardless of our religious and political affiliation. There is no time we need the unity of Nigeria than now. We are enjoining the political class to please all put hands together. You can look at the country now. The economy is biting, but we have abundant resources, both mineral resources, natural and human capacity. If we can harness all of them, Nigeria will be one of the most industrialized countries in the world. But what does it? It requires unity of purpose, which is the key message for this independence celebration. We should use this period as a period of sober reflection. The elections have come and gone. Although some of them are being contested in the court of law, but that does not mean that we don't have a government in place. We should all work towards making this society a better place for every one of us. That is my message for Nigerians.
I just want to wish my dear country, Nigeria, a very happy independence anniversary. Nigeria is indeed a great country, but what I wish for my country is better leadership, because we have leadership deficit. That is the reason why we have not emerged as an industrialized or advanced country.
I'm very happy, first of all, to be alive to witness the 63rd independence anniversary of our great country. Nigeria has come a long way. We have passed through so many trials. Our political system and democracy has now been established firmly, and we are recording some progress, even though not at the pace that we would have wanted. I wish Nigeria a very great development in the near future. NIPS itself has contributed positively towards the development of policy in this country, and we look forward to more fruitful and successful administration of the country, and we look forward to future development and more exciting development in the country. Thank you very much.
Nigeria has come along. It's now 63 years of age. Yeah, I've come along. It hasn't been easy, but we have really achieved a lot since independence. We are the giant of Africa. We are the giants of Africa. We are truly leading in areas of leadership, in areas of economy, in areas of resources, both intellectual and natural. We really need to sit back and look at ourselves as a country so endowed with resources, as I said earlier, intellectual, natural, to see the much we have done and the much we have not been able to do, to see how much we need to do to utilize our resources to industrialize. Where have we been when the entire world is moving faster, even as we have all that it takes to really move faster ourselves? We have to sit down and have several reflections. We have not been doing the much we're supposed to do when we look at how God really loved us and given us all the resources we have. We have not industrialized. We are still struggling with basic things, basic issues like power, which is the foundation and bedrock of industrialization. I hope our leaders are up to task. With the new leadership we have in place, we have started seeing some goodwill, some efforts here and there. Toward that. It is a collective responsibility, and we need to all come together. All hands must be on deck to utilize our resources and move forward. China is moving, BRICS are moving, everybody is moving, but we don't seem to be realizing that we are not moving.
Happy 63rd birthday, my fellow Nigerians. I wish us well, and my goodwill message is that all of us, all stakeholders, need to focus on human security. That is ensuring that there is energy, food, water. That's the only way we can be industrialized and part of the developed world. Thank you. Dr. Boluwaji Onobolu, the University of Johannesburg, South Africa. Thank you.
Nigerians watching, okay? This is Professor Bolade Adeniji of the directorate here, in NIPS. Now, I can only seize this opportunity to wish all Nigerians happy Independence Anniversary. And we recognize that we are going through, a fairly tough time. But the truth is that all nations, pass through these stages once in a while. We can only say that if the policies being put in place currently is anything to go by, we know that there will be light at the end of the tunnel. So I wish all Nigerians well this august occasion, and I know that at the end of the day, all of us, we have reason to smile. Thank you very much.
John. Happy Independence Day, Nigeria. I'm wishing us a year of peace and prosperity.
I am Rear Admiral Adeshola Kanwadesowe, MNI. And this afternoon, I just want to give a good message to mark the Nigerian 63rd Independence Anniversary. It comes on the 1st of October 2023. In line with what the federal government is doing and the new administration of His Excellency President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, in celebrating this year's independence celebration, he said it's going to be a very low-key one, and the reasons is not far-fetched. And the theme is that there is renewed hope for Nigeria at 63, unity and prosperity. Well, I know the countries were all going through a lot at this point in time, considering economic situation, the fuel subsidy that has been removed, and the associated changes that is affecting every family because of that. But like keying into the chip that has renewed hope, I want to assure every Nigerian that we should key into the president's team and believe in our great country, Nigeria. Many nations have gone through this situation before, and they've come out of it successfully. The nations that are doing well in the world today did not start in a day, like the Adeda said that Rome was not built in a day. So I want to reassure all of us that we should believe in our leaders, we should believe in our nation, and we should give it with utmost best. We definitely get there by God's grace. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Nigerians should stay positive and keep hoping that Nigeria will get better.
Well, I just want to say, just keep our heads tight. Let's keep our heads together. Let's be one. Let's hope for, because I know the future is bright and it's beautiful.
Keep watching NIPS Policy TV. Don't touch that die.
Keep watching NIPS Policy TV.
Keep watching NIPS Policy TV.
Today, our personality on the program is a Nigeria elder statesman who was a governor of Plateau State and previously military governor of the Benue State and Gongola State. His Excellency John R. David Jang, CON, Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, was a founding member of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. He is our guest today.
If my father were to pick from where he was and saw me at the time he left the world, he would call us back. He said, no, he's not, his eyes not seeing right. And I said to myself, if I've been brought to a state, we used to be Benue Plateau, and now being sent to Benue State with that level of poverty and development, how will I justify taking the state money and start pocketing it without doing anything for the people? I didn't, and you know, the appointments didn't have tenure.
Yes.
You didn't know when you would be asked to move. And truly, I spent 12 calendar months in Benue. But you can go to Benue and find out what I did in that 1 year. Till today, Benue people have not forgotten. And after 1 year, I was moved to Gongola. I spent 2 years there. And I know what I did in those 2 years. Another, Ayola was another a village capital, like a village with only one tarred road, single road across. The government, the front of the government house, the road was even not tarred. It wasn't up to Dio's house that was called the government house. But I was able to, within the 2 years, build a new government house, tarred the road, dualized the road, did all kinds of things. And because of that idea that I came from Benin, again, what do I do? How do I sleep well if after God has raised me from that level of poverty and now the opportunity has been given to me and I start trying to convert these things to my personal self. So eventually when I became the executive governor of Plateau State, I called my children, 6 of them, and I told them, I said I had had 6 of you before I became the military governor. So it isn't something that I would say, I didn't know I was going to have this number of children. I didn't steal money in Benue, I didn't steal money in Gongola. Now that at home, my own home state has now decided to give me that confidence the confidence in me to make me, elect me as the executive governor. Do not think I'm going to start stealing money to keep for you people. We are going to work as a family and live. All I can leave you would be a good name behind. And honestly, that is what I did for the 8 years as the governor of the Plateau State. And the result is there for everyone to see.
So, sir, what would you say about government policy?
Yeah, let me tell you something. My experience in this democracy is that it's the most unsincere way of governing people. You find out that, let me say it today, you find out that the state houses of assembly, if you look at the constitution, we have a beautiful constitution. Even though my only thing that I find wrong with our constitution is that too much power at the center. We need to divert some of these powers to the states to have the proper presidential system of government. But the major problems we have, to me, is the legislature. I thank God I've had an experience of being a senator for 4 years. And that's why I'm coming into this conclusion. As a governor, to me, instead of being guided, the legislature being the watchdog over the executive, I became a watchdog over the legislature. That's the truth about it. Demands.
Yeah.
For them to pass your budget, hey,
Must be true.
you need to know the demands. But honestly, the 4 years I was a senator, that is probably because Buhari is a retired general. Buhari never gave us a kobo, to my knowledge, for us to pass budget in the national. That at least kobo never came to me that we're going to pass a budget. President has sent this. There was nothing like that. But I know that other presidents did it at the National Assembly. If I'm wrong, let anybody correct me.
Okay.
Again, I found out that also, even at the national level, there's over, how do I describe it? Overbearing of the executive over the National Assembly. To the extent that during our 8th National Assembly, some senators will say that they formed themselves in a group to support president, which is not the constitutional provision for our responsibilities as legislators. I've been a governor for 11 years. The military 3, the civil 8. I know budgeting is based on your programs. But I discovered at the national level, for the 4 years that I was in the Senate, there's what they call envelope budgeting. When we received the first budget, I had an opportunity to visit the Senate of America when I was governor. And I spent a day in a senator's office. I didn't know I would become a senator. To see how an average senator operates. So when I received my first budget, when I went to the National Assembly, I went and got a consultant on my own, paid. We sat down, he analyzed the budget. And I was ready to debate the budget. To be only given 5 minutes to talk at the budget. 5 minutes. Where are we rushing to? Where are we hurrying? That the budget cannot even be. Before you know what is happening, committees are people are going to defend budget in the committee. What budget? An envelope has been given to a ministry to share to their departments, not based on any developmental project. And that's why there's so much stealing, so much corruption, worse than the federal. That's the truth about it. And I'm not sure if that, I don't think that the situation had changed, because it was the same Buhari's regime. After 4 years, I left the Senate, as you have rightly said. So it continued until Buhari finished. I don't know if the present government would want to review the way budgeting is done. Because my 11 years as a governor, budget was based on your developmental projects, but not at the federal level. And so the level of corruption in the federal level is monumental. So what policy are you talking about? A government comes, they set up certain policies that they're trying to implement. If that government moves whatever they have done, the new government comes completely, they'll come up with to different things as policies. And no nation can develop under that kind of a thing. I believe that if I were president of Nigeria, I attempted running for the president. Yes. My idea of becoming a president is to call all stakeholders of the country, including other political parties, and let's sit down and say, what do we have as policy for Nigeria? So that we all agree, pass it, whichever government that comes in continues with it and only change style of implementation. Yes. That's how developed nations run their show. Nigeria is going to be 63 years of independence. It reminds me, 63 years ago I was in Form 1. Because 1960 I was in Form 1 when Nigeria became independent. So, at 63, my message to Nigerians is that there is still hope. It's God Almighty that will serve. He knew why he created a nation called Nigeria, made up of many other nations, and made it to one nation, and blessed this nation with the resources that no nation in the world have what Nigeria have in this soil. There's this joke that other African nations went to God and cried to God that why did you create one nation bigger than the others in population, with good land mass, with big land mass? You carried all the riches of Africa and put in that one nation. And you left the rest of us in poverty. And that God replied them that don't worry, see what they will do with it.
You have been watching NIPS Policy TV. This is what we're all about. Policies, policies, and strategies. That's our package today. Thank you for being a part of it. I am Lydia Odije Ochi. Join us again, and happy Independence Day. Goodbye.